Hi guys, I'm going to walk you through how to set up your brochure in Google Slides. So this is the template I have provided, and you should have your own copy of this template. You need to work from this template, and I'm going to quickly walk through. So our first steps is really just to get all of our words on there. We're not going to worry about formatting it. We're not going to worry about images. We're not going to worry about anything but simply getting the text in the correct places. So number one right here, by the way, we'll delete this later, is going to be the cover of our trifold brochure. So I'm going to click right here. Nothing happens. We'll be deleting this part later. And these little squares right here, that is how much room we have. This is actually our margin on the edges. So we're going to put a text box in there. Everything should be in its own text box. And when I say everything, like your title should be in its own text box, and then the body text should be in its own. So we really want our text box to almost touch the line. If it touches the line, that's great too, because you have more room than you think. And like I said, these boxes will be gone later. We'll get rid of those. So we're going to go ahead and put my cover text. So this is where you want to have a creative name for your field trip. So if it's like hiking field trips or whatever, you would change it to something more interesting. Like the name of this one, I'm copying another student's, is Adventure Awaits. All right, and that's all that I'm going to put on the cover. So I'm already done with that. And now I'm going to put a text box. This is the center back of my brochure, and all I'm going to put here is field trip coordinator and then your name. So I'm a student. And that's all that goes here, guys. That's it. And then there's a lot more information here, so I'm going to pause the video and put it in so that you can see. So hopefully you can see here that I put my heading, my title, in its own text box. That's so that I can manipulate it later on its own, but then I put my paragraph in its own text box. And once again, it goes all the way to the edge. What I really need you not to do is to change anything about the formatting, because if you fill this background color in, all your boxes are going to go away, and it's going to be very confusing later on. So that will be the last step we do. So that's what's on page 1. And now the outside of my brochure, as far as step 1 is concerned, is done. So then part of your homework will be to fill in the inside information. One thing to also note is you don't want to double space. Double spacing is for reports. It's not for things like brochures. So you do want this to be in single space mode. And once again, you're not editing anything about these fonts. You're not changing anything. It is literally just getting your text where you need it to go. So I'm going to pause and I'm going to fill in the inside so you can see how that works. And that will be the end of this video. Okay, so I just realized that on the outside, I forgot to tell you what's going where. It is on the rubric, but you are going to put your heading up here. So this is about your entire field trip theme. Why would people want to go on this type of field trip? So you're in this paragraph, you're selling why you would want to go do these things, okay? But not the individual things, just overall, why would you want to do them? And then inside is each of your 3 individual field trips that meet your theme. And so you'll have your heading in its own text box. You'll have a paragraph description where you're selling people on why they want to go to this particular place. And that should include your learning goal. And we're practicing proximity right now. We're not setting it all up, but we are grouping information by headings. Your headings, we can move them where we want later. And your paragraphs should be together, and then your contact information proximity-wise should all be together. And you gathered a lot more of this in your research than you actually need. So really you just need the address, a phone number if you have one, and a website. The distance from TKA can be included in the paragraph, or it can be included in this grouping of information down here, whatever you want. So this is basically how it will come out. I just cheated because I didn't want to type it all up for all these places, but you just want your paragraph for each place and your contact information for each place, and that is the inside of the brochure for step 1. And then next week in class, we'll actually do the formatting. I hope this helped you. Thanks.